Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you are new. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. What will you do if you find out that your close or your best friend hated you? A lot of people have come out to share their stories about having friends who actually hated them. Let's see what these people are saying and I will give my thoughts at the end of this video.
Find your friend is secretly hating on you. 1. Pay attention to how she or he acts when the attention is on you. If they feel bothered or their facial expression just changes when people are complimenting you, and just when the spotlight is on you, girl. 2, they don't congratulate you on anything you have achieved. They are just not supportive of you, and they will pretend like that thing that you did that was so amazing did not happen. 3, they try to downplay your success. So if they're the type of person that does acknowledge your success, they will try to downplay it and try to make it seem like that thing that you just achieved isn't that great or it's easy to achieve.
There are some signs that are full proof that your friend freaking hates you. Number 1, they're gonna talk crap about everything you like, everything you wear, your hobbies, everything you like. They're gonna talk crap about it. But then they're gonna copy it. Trust me, babes. Usually the friend who's a copycat secretly hates you and looks at you as competition, that they have the urge to copy you. Number 2, microaggressions. Babes, tell them some good news. You tell them that you have a future trip or anything that's like beneficial about your life. You're gonna be like this. The infamous lip twitch. Just like this. Yeah, cool. And then change topic. And then usually when you talk about something that's bad news or something bad happening in your life, they're gonna go like this. Really? Oh. But you know that they're smiling on the inside. Yep, babes, it's not gonna get any better from there. Run for the hills. Actually, friends who are secretly haters normally say this line because they're scheming. If you have any problems, just tell me. I'm your friend. You can tell me everything. No, they actually don't care. They're just happy that you have problems. And it validates them that they're not alone. And they feel comfortable and takes energy from listening to your problems. So honestly, if you have problems, just keep it to yourself. No. That's an evil friend. That's a secret hater. Lastly, be careful with this one. They usually use jokes as insults. They're gonna take jabs in you and try to insult you, but then disguise it as a joke. They're gonna disrespect you and then disguise it as a joke and say, oh, I'm just kidding. No, babes. Jokes are half meant. This is not gonna work. Pick somebody else.
Sometimes it's dangerous not to know how blessed you are because other people will see your glow before you do. And when you think people are approaching you for friendship, no, they're approaching you to study you. Sometimes they're approaching you to be better than you. And the best way to be better than somebody is to get close to them. They say to keep your friends close and your what? Your enemies even closer. And there's a reason for that. People have taken down whole kingdoms doing that kind of technique. I mean, look at the country we're in. We're in England. The history books have shown how people get close to each other, even to go as far as marriages, to have bigger armies to take over people. Blood has been shed trying to be the best of the best. So what do you think the millennial version of that is? Studying someone, aka your enemy, but under the guise of saying friendship.
So there's this tweet going around and it's asking, when did you realize that your friend hated you? And it really got me reminiscing on a friend that I had to realize really hated me. Some years ago, I was writing a web series. This is when Awkward Black Girl was the biggest thing on YouTube. And it started to become really trendy to either make like your own web series or like a lot of short films. Insecure never even existed. And me and my sister came up with a really dope web series. This was years ago and it was called Situationship. The thing that makes me so sad is that it was a lot like Insecure before Insecure ever existed. So now we can't really do anything with it. But long story short, me and my twin sister wrote a web series and we had a really good friend who was a videographer. He read our script, fell in love with it, and said it was one of the best scripts that he ever read. So he really wanted to be a part of it. I even wrote him his own character. Me and my sister worked sleepless nights to get a casting together and everything. On the day of the shoot, he stands me and my sister up. So not only did we have to reschedule, but we looked like idiots. He calls me and my sister and he's like, hey guys, I'm so sorry that I stood you guys up. I just got so nervous. I'm so nervous. I don't even know if I'm worth you guys' script because it's so good, but please give me another chance. Mind you, I was a lot younger, so I forgave him, gave him another shot. The next time it comes around, he throws a party and then invites the actors to go with him on the same day of the shoot. A couple of the actors fell for it. That's when I realized that he was purposely sabotaging the success of the film. I don't think he could stand seeing his friends actually follow through with something that he could never do himself. He had a whole crew of videographers that he convinced not to help me and my sister anymore. And then a year later, he invites me to a birthday party. Mind you, everything that he's ever done, me and my sister have always supported. I showed up to every single event that he has thrown. But this was the first time where I finally said, no, I'm not coming. And for my own mental health, I'm not going to post the text that he sent me. But it was the most evil, mean, disgusting text I've ever gotten in my life. And that's officially when I knew that my friend hated me. He told me that I was never going to find love because I'm not the type of woman that someone would ever fall in love with. And that the fact that I said no, it was masculine. And that I'm only beautiful with makeup. Yeah, that I'm only pretty with makeup on. And then the fact that I wasn't coming to his birthday party, I was the worst friend in the world. And I'll never forget that because a lot of times people cannot wait to beef with you. They wait on the day. They count the days to get in an argument with you, a disagreement with you, so they can tell you how they really feel about you. And that's why they say, I remember people say, the smallest misunderstandings will expose how someone really feels about you. Yeah, this was that. And to this day, I just always think back to all the red flags in that friendship. Red flags don't only exist in relationships. They definitely exist in friendships just as much. Just always be wise who you hang around. Because the people that really mess with you, they want to see you succeed, even if it means passing them.
I swear, if there's one thing I will never understand, it's when you have a best friend that just randomly starts to hate you. This is the most confusing thing I've ever experienced. Because usually it's someone you're like insanely close with, but then they just start getting weird and like low-key trying to sabotage you. If you ever experience this, don't beat yourself up being like, I wonder what I did wrong. Because I did that for years. Most of the time people switch up on you like this, it's because they're insecure or jealous or both. Which is really strange to me because if I look up to someone, I like want to be closer to them. I want to be their friend. But some people, if they feel like you're a threat to them, they will just start hating you. And it is not your fault.
You know, one thing that is like really discouraging is finding out your friend really don't like you. Like they really hated you and don't fool with you. That is one thing that's kind of heartbreaking, especially when you realize like there are not a lot of genuine people in this world. And when I say genuine, I'm talking like people who are willing to support you, celebrate you, show up for you. One thing that you will notice is over time, there will be more people wanting to hear about your failures than your successes. And they will be sitting there with popcorn ready to go, oh my God, what happened next? But as soon as you have something to be celebrated, ain't nobody to talk to. And that is a lonely feeling. And this isn't one of those, oh my gosh, everybody's jealous of me. No, you can leave whatever hateful comments you want in the comment section about that. However, you would be crazy to think that this isn't a real issue. And I'm not saying that this is women, because I know hatred and jealousy have no gender. I know that men deal with it too, but it sucks. It sucks to find out that there are not a lot of genuine people. And when you do find someone that's genuine, tell them, love them, celebrate them, okay?
The most dangerous person walking this earth is a fake, disloyal, envious, jealous person who calls themselves your friend.
I think the most dangerous person you can have around you is a person who has secret animosity towards you. Like, what's that in your heart to be able to have that much ill will towards somebody? To be able to have that much hate or that much jealousy towards someone. And a person who has animosity towards you, this is what my problem is with people like this. Because they give the most backhanded compliments. They give the most backhanded congratulations. And you just never really know what their heart's intent actually is, because most times it's not pure. And my thing is, this is what runs me insane. This is so weird to me. Like, if you failed, that person would be able to sleep good at night. If something happened to you, they would probably silently celebrate your downfall or your failure. That secret animosity is devious. they're waiting for you to fail. What makes it even more dangerous is that the person who has secret animosity towards you will usually try to get close to you. They will usually try to pretend that they're your friend. They'll have that dagger just waiting to stab you in your back, waiting to see you fail, waiting to corrupt whatever it is that you build. And that's sad. That's that blow you never see coming. You never see it coming. I don't understand it. There's too much love in this world to receive, and it's too much love to give. If you just hate a person simply because they're successful, or because they have something great about themselves, or they have a gift, or you see their value, if you just simply hate a person for that, like they ain't did nothing to you, that screams self-hate. That screams self-loathe, because there's no way.
One of the biggest friendship red flags that you have to keep your eye out for is that friend that always copies you. And just to be clear, this isn't the friend that just like happens to buy the same shirt as you, or who you want to match or twin or do any of those things. It's the friend that low-key peeps what you're doing, what you're wearing, what other people are liking from you, and then just stealing it, copying it, making it as their own. You guys know exactly the kind of girls I'm talking about. The girls who just aren't happy for you to begin with, and then once you have something going on, once you have a cool style, cool hairstyle, cool makeup, something that you say all the time, all of a sudden they'll start copying you and then act like you're the one copying them. Honestly, this happens because the friend that's copying you is just insecure in either who they are, what they say, what they do. They're insecure within themselves, so they have to copy what you're doing in order to feel good enough or like they have something going on. And this may be a controversial opinion, but I honestly think that these girls are your friend and they're around you just to see what you're doing in order to copy you. It's my honest to God opinion, because why else would they be your friend when they low-key don't even like you to begin with? They only like what you can provide them, the sense of style or just your personality. These girls are truly leeches. For whatever reason, if you've ever been in this situation, literally any girl I've ever known to do this to either me or someone else, they will always cut you out of their life when they've gotten enough from you, when they've copied your style, when they've copied how you talk, how you look, how you act. Once they have enough on you, once they've learned you well enough to steal kind of who you are, they just move on to the next person and do the exact same thing to them. And they just keep repeating this and repeating this and repeating this forever, because they actually don't know who they are. They're so insecure within themselves that they have to be someone else for their entire life.
Let me tell you what's crazy. I had a friend just like this. When I say she moved in the same apartments I lived in, she wanted to drive the same car I drove. I had to convince her to get the Acura and not another coupe. She wanted the exact same color. She would wear her hair like mine. She would date guys that look like the guys that I was dating. And when things did not work out for her the way they were working out for me, because she was trying to do what I was doing, she would be so mad at me. She would be so angry, so flustered. This is why I don't like hanging with people who don't have a personality and have low self-esteem. Because when women have low self-esteem, they tend not to know who they are or what they really like or what they really want. And it shows up in every aspect of their life. They, like I said, they won't have a personality, and they just want to be what they see. And they want to be what they see works out for other people. And it just becomes a really big conflict of interest, and then they get mad with you. That same friend, she tried to see me in a car accident. Like, when I say I can go into a whole story time about this girl, and I let her back in my life 2 times. The 3rd time, I cut that hoe off and I never let her back in, because when she would get mad at me, she would say stuff to me like, what I really want to say to you, we not going to be friends after I say it. And I'm like, but you trying to be me, so what is it that you want to say to me that's we not going to be friends? I said, bitch, you want my whole life. So I had to like check her and put her in her place. And I let her know, I was like, you're jealous. And in her mind, she could not register the fact that she was jealous. It was so odd. Like, it was so odd. So listen, when you come across these people that remind you of people that you've already... I've come across people that I feel like are like her, and I don't fuck with them. I don't bother them. I stay away from them. You cannot be friends with people who don't have their own personality. You can't. You can't. You just can't do it.
I want you to raise your hand if you've ever had a friend that secretly hates you. Me. And I didn't realize that this was a very universal experience until very recently. In the beginning, it genuinely feels pretty normal. I feel like they disguise themselves as supportive and all the things, and it's the tiny little microaggressions that if you're not paying attention, go completely over your head. And the comments honestly really vary. They can be about your friends, what you're wearing, what you've been up to recently. And I feel like the biggest indicator when they say these sentences, it's always like, oh, and then they lead with whatever they're gonna say. Oh, you're hanging out with this person? Oh, I definitely wouldn't do that if I were you. And the craziest part is, it's all simultaneously coupled with them adopting things that are very much you. Copying the way you dress, copying your mannerisms, maybe even going as far as dating people that are very similar to the people that you date, becoming friends with people that are very much your friends. And I think being an empathetic person, I'd find myself in situations making excuses to be like, oh, well, she just had a bad day. That's like why she said something like that. Instead of sitting there and realizing that that girl hates you. Like in my life, I met this girl last year and very, very quickly, she like latched on to me. And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of odd. You're literally telling me all about your life and I met you maybe a week ago. And I watched her interact with her other friends. Like they would call her and the way she would like roll her eyes or like make snarky little comments. But I was like, wait, we literally saw them out a couple days ago. Or you literally were just talking about how nice they were. Like there was no consistency across any board. And this should have been red flag number one. Because the way that someone speaks about their other friends in your presence is the exact same way they're gonna talk about you. Second red flag was the inconsistency. One day she'd be super hot, the next day completely cold. Like I'm talking about unfollow out of nowhere one day, then pretend they don't know you the next when other people are around. And as I sit here and reflect, I honestly think I've cracked the code. These girls aren't jealous of the things that you have, or honestly, the way that you look. What they're jealous of is your energy, your aura, your je ne sais pas quoi. The vibe that you emit and your spark shakes them so deeply to their core that they're reminded that they can do better, but choose not to. So simply put, you got these girls shook. So keep going, boo.
That friend who doesn't like your stuff on social media is a secret hater. I don't care if that sounds vapid. I don't care if they try to gaslight you and say, oh, I didn't see it. If that person, they pop up and they're watching your stories every day, but they can't like or comment and you guys talk or hang out, that person does not want you to succeed. These are the type of friends that will keep you because they like something that you're giving them. But trust, these friends never want you to do better than them. And when they feel like you are, they're gonna find a way to put you down. It might sound silly measuring these things on the terms of social media. I'm telling you, I've never been wrong about this. Anytime I've had the inkling, I've noticed that ends up being the friend that will start putting you down, that will start shaming you for the things that you like or the things that you do, or minimizing your accomplishments. This is the one that you end up hearing was talking about your back to other people. I'm telling you, I know you have other friends that you don't get that gut feeling about. If you are getting that gut feeling, secret hater friends unfortunately do exist, and they're not your real friends anyway, so my suggestion would be cut them out of your life.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting story and also very, very touching. And one thing I'm glad for is the fact that these people realized on time how their supposedly friend hated them. Imagine being in such a friendship or in such a situation where you end up telling someone about everything concerning your life, and at the end of the day, they actually hate you. They are not happy with you. They're in competition with you. Whatever you have is what they want to have. How will you handle such a situation? Have you ever been in that kind of situation where you find out that your best friend actually hated you? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed every minute of this video, and I believe you guys also enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.